Hey guys, welcome back to Clownfish TV. This is Neon. I am here with Geeky Sparkles.
Hello.
And we're going to talk about the Barbie movie again.
Yes.
But we're going to talk about it in regards to Bill Maher. Bill Maher did a review of the Barbie movie. And for some reason, the media is all bent out of shape over one guy's opinion.
Yes, there's Rolling Stone, so you know exactly how this is going to go.
Yeah, it's Rolling Stone. It's The Independent. Everybody,
so a certain type of media outlet is upset about.
Absolutely. They're all butthurt about it.
But is he wrong, though? That's the question. Is he wrong?
I don't think he's wrong.
We'll look and see what he said, and I'll tell you if he was wrong, because I watched the movie.
Yeah, I have not, so you're going to have to tell me.
And my daughter wanted to see it. It was like the one thing she was most excited about seeing, and she got there, and she was so excited at the beginning, and by the end of the movie, she went home and watched old Barbie movies and Life in the Dream House because she was so disappointed in this one.
So let's talk about this. Before we get into it any further, please subscribe for more pop culture, news, views, and rants, guys. If you do, you'll get a woohoo.
Woohoo!
All right, so this is coming from Rolling Stone. Bill Maher's Barbie movie review is a total embarrassment.
No.
Talk show host has apparently had a very bad time at the cinema with a woman in her 30s seeing the $1 billion Barbie movie. It made a lot of money, therefore it must be good.
Well, it made a lot of money. Yeah, therefore it must be good. Unless something they didn't like. Like, they didn't like Super Mario Brothers, but the Mario Brothers movie made a lot of money, and they were really surprised by this. But yeah, no, I'm a woman. I went to see it. I didn't care for it either. I think it was part of a good movie. As I've told you many times. So now it's going to be because he hates women or something stupid like that.
So apparently they're dunking on HBO here. They said the HBO executives think he's edgy. He's 67. They think he's edgy because he spends so much of his airtime railing against wokeness. And his resume includes Pizza Man, Tomcats, and Cannibal Women in the Avocado Jungle of Death.
Yeah, but I'm sure there's actors in the Barbie movie that were also in like stupid movies too. That they're going to overlook that when it goes along with what they want.
So the movie was released to near universal critical acclaim and has grossed over $1 billion worldwide. So The Last Jedi.
Yes, as I said, there's a lot of movies that released to critical acclaim doesn't make them good movies, and there's a lot of movies that the critics hate and that people love and they do really well. Case in point, Super Mario Brothers movie.
But yeah, that's true. Maher tweeted that Barbie was preachy and man-hating.
True.
While also calling it a zombie lie.
Not really sure what the zombie lie thing is.
I don't know. He said he's desperately trying to make that. I don't know what that is. He goes on to criticize it for taking certain creative liberties to drive home its point, namely depicting the Mattel board as all male in the film when it's not.
Well, that is important because they do make it out like the men made or the men, they're like, they're total assholes, and stuff like that too. And they're trying to silence Barbie and all this other stuff. So they're trying to make it out like that. But it is true that it is not all men. And it probably is detrimental to Mattel that they let that go in the movie like that, because I know why they did it for the narrative for the movie. But the reality is different. People are like, I'm surprised to find there are women on the board. It's like, because there weren't. If you'd done some basic research, you'd know that. Instead of just listening to what the Barbie movie tells you, because it's not real life, as you want to tell me all the time.
So apparently, and I have not seen the movie, you have the Barbies act helpless to trick the Kens.
Yes. So when the Kens, I've talked about this before, when the Kens, suddenly they take over Barbie land because of the patriarchy. Basically it was just they got tired of being treated like objects. They only existed or were happy when Barbies pay attention to them. And then when they go to our world, Ken gets, treated like a person. And of course that sets him off the other direction, goes too far the other way because he likes being treated like a person instead of just, whatever he's being, a himbo or whatever he's being treated like. And they misunderstand the patriarchy and they run with these stereotypes. So the Barbies, to trick the Kens into getting the power back, pretend to be stupid and helpless so that while they're mansplaining them about things like The Godfather, they can get the Barbie that's still brainwashed out of there to deprogram her with a feminist manifesto speech. But that's what happens. They're brainwashed. The Barbies are brainwashed when the Barbie, stereotypical Barbie, comes back to the Barbie land. The Barbies that were left behind are brainwashed by the Kens and the patriarchy because they have no defenses against the patriarchy. And they're brainwashed and they turn into these, ridiculously stereotypical women that are like, they're bimbos and all that stuff. And it takes a real woman from our world talking about how women have it so bad to snap them back to reality. I'm not kidding. That's exactly what the movie does.
Right. And I am really surprised there's not more outrage because I know how the Barbie movie ends. Big spoiler there. Everybody knows how it ends. Barbie goes to the gynecologist and I'm like, so what they're saying is you're only a real woman if you have a vagina?
Well,
that's not very
beyond
progressive.
That, there's so much on this, like, women should be more than just pretty, women should do more than just all these things. But then the Barbie movie kind of, the ideals that these people spout off on Twitter before the Barbie movie have suddenly changed after the Barbie movie, and it's like a lot of things in the Barbie movie that normally piss you off. That's what I don't understand.
Yeah.
Like, you'd be mad, like, Barbie should be more than just pretty. Mid shouldn't, because she's pregnant and a heavy set, should be allowed to have lines. But now, since the Barbie movie's big, that can all just go away. I'm not kidding. It's ridiculous.
This is, So Bill Maher basically said this is way too late because most boards now, current year, are like, I think he said it was like 49% female.
Well, yeah, here's something else that Pinky Boo brought this up in the video we did the review. She said, I don't like the fact that they're making it out like women have no power in our world, because that's not true. Like, we have a lot of women who rule countries, who are on, in the government, who are in the Supreme Court, who, have been, up in the vice president seat and everything else, and you probably have president soon. All that stuff. Women are not like being allowed to run things and have power. That's not true. And the idea it gives is that in our world, women are kept down and women are just treated back as men. Men are just all assholes and they're all doing everything they can to keep women down. And that's not the case. And even with the messaging people keep saying that the movie has, and while it does try to present that, hey, objectifying men or women are both bad and all this other stuff, every time you have a message, you ruin it by putting some dig about how men suck and women have no power in after it, and it just ruins whatever gains you made.
Well, that's kind of with diversity and inclusion too. It's like a lot of times, like, you're just ignoring all the progress that has been made, and you're making it out like all these groups are completely kept out of entertainment, when a lot of the entertainment you complain about, like, I mean, She-Ra was a prime example. Everybody was complaining about how She-Ra was designed by men for men to fap to. It was a girl's doll line designed by women. And the people that ran it were very diverse, including a gay woman,
I don't understand it. Like, then these people, and there's a lot of women on Twitter, and mostly women, they'll be like, well, you're just missing the message. I'm not missing the message. I'm not brainwashed by the patriarchy. I'm not missing the message. Yeah, on Honest Trailers, it was so bad, they actually rolled up a ball of paper and threw it out. He's like, are you actually hitting me with a message right now? Because it was so ridiculously over the top. And women, they said that women are supposed to pretend to act helpless to trick Kens, and like, no woman would do this. You're right, no woman would. But then no man is going to be acting the way they have these Kens. It's like a caricature of what the patriarchy is. Just like the Barbies were a caricature of what the matriarchy is. But the problem isn't that, hey, both are bad, which is what the movie should be telling you. No, the problem is at the end, when they basically are like, hey, we're making mistakes, we're going to walk that back because it's not fair to the Kens. They follow it with, but we're not giving you a Supreme Court seat. And the narrator is saying, well, maybe someday the Kens in Barbie land will have almost as much power as women in our world do. So there's no message there. You started out with a message and you fucked it up to get your agenda in there. It's all about agenda. And this is coming from a woman. Personally, I was insulted by a lot of the choices they made. Because it's actually for their doing it's female empowerment. No, it wasn't. It was regressive. It wasn't progressive. It was regressive. Women are brainwashed by the patriarchy unless another woman tells them how to, about feminism. Bullshit. Women don't have much power in our world. Yeah, sometimes they don't, but a lot of times they do. Bullshit.
Well, that's what he brought up here, and like, they're cherry picking out of his review here, mini review here on Twitter, what he said. He said, how could I know about the patriarchy? I am a man. That argument is old and silly.
Mm-hmm. But then there's men on Twitter telling women about they have to like this movie because
So he said the real Mattel board is a pretty close mirror of the country, where 45% of the 449 board seats filled last year in Fortune 500 companies were women. Mattel the CEO was a woman for a long time. Mm-hmm. Barbie was created by
other
woman.
times, yeah.
I mean, it's YouTube was run. CEO was a woman for a very long time. There's a lot of people
that are women, and I mean, statistically, we're not always equal, and there is like there are discrepancies in pay and different things like that. But we've come a long way since then. But the idea that women have no power here is absolute garbage. And then but then the Kens, but they're lucky someday they might be as low class as women in our world are.
Yeah, right. He said he enjoyed the movie. He said it was a lot of fun. That's the thing too. Like,
there are parts of it that are fun. Yes.
Yeah, you can enjoy the movie, think it's funny, but then when you look at it, you're like, okay, this is just doesn't hold water. And again, I am really shocked that there hasn't been more talk about Barbie becoming a real woman means she has a vagina, given the current climate. You know what I'm saying?
They end with that, but then they mock Midge for being pregnant. Don't give her any lines because she's pregnant. So no one talks to her. So they do that in the same, film. And you're right. Why are they not getting canceled for this? Because any other place would say women have vaginas. Oh, how dare you? There are fun parts about it, like Barbie when she's like, looks like she does doll type things. And then when the Kens have their dance number and their fight and the song and stuff like that, that's pretty fun. There are moments of fun. When they go to the real world, it starts out fun. They could have gone with that. And there's so many good things about this movie that if they had stayed on that path, it would have been an amazing movie. And a lot of people like it. And you're allowed to like the movie. If you like the movie, the cool beans, go you. But they made so many choices that even when they started with a message that I was like, okay, I agree with that message. This extreme's bad, that extreme's bad, you need to meet in the middle. They ruin it by some agenda bullshit comment they make from the narrator or for something else. So any moment they had that was a good moment that maybe I'm just Barbie and you could be just Ken, things like that, they had to ruin it with something else. And it was like, gosh, if you just take your agenda shit out, it would have been a fun movie. You still could have got the agenda shit in there, but you go too far.
You know who you left out of this conversation? I am very offended. Alan. Poor Alan.
Yes, Alan was worth watching it for.
Never
Alan.
mentioned Alan.
And
Nobody
Barbie.
mentions.
Weird Barbie's worth watching it for Weird Barbie. There are so many good elements in this movie that it could have been a good movie, and then they start down a path where you're like, okay, the lesson's going to be this. Okay, that's cool. I agree with that. And they get to the lesson, and they're like, nope. Here's another comment about feminism and about how women are treated like shit.
I like Kate McKinnon. A lot of people they get mad about that. Her in Ghostbusters 2016. I actually thought Holtzman was one of the few parts I liked. Ghostbusters.
She was at least amusing.
She was amusing. She would have been a much better character in a much better movie.
Sorry. I just don't think he's completely wrong in what he said. And he went to see it with a 30-year-old woman. That's where the woman in her 30s. And he said, she's like, I don't know a single woman of my age that would act like that.
Actually, if anything, Barbie, the toy line inspired, I think, a lot of women to do more, be more, because
that's the mixed message there too. They're saying that girls in our world feel like they're inferior because of Barbie and they hate Barbie, but Barbies believe they help women do more. And the thing is, the truth of the matter is yes to both, because there are women who'd point to Barbie and say Barbie makes them feel bad about themselves. But a lot of women, when we were kids, it was you could do anything because Barbie tells you could. When Barbie came out, she was breaking the whole mommy baby doll stereotypes. So, hey, she could go out and have a career. And that was cool. And that was like mind blowing at the time. Like, wow, Barbie could be whatever she wanted to be. So could I. So the answer is yes to both of those things, depending on your outlook of the situation. But the movie itself, she's stereotypical Barbie for pity's sakes. I mean, they called her stereotypical Barbie right there. She's not President Barbie. They have that too, and Supreme Court Barbie apparently, and Pilot Barbie, and Garbage Man Barbie, and Garbage Woman Barbie. I'm sorry,
garbage person.
I'm just like
Bill Maher. He's such a garbage person.
And if you're non-binary, you're completely fucked because it's all about men and women the whole way through the movie.
That's what blows my mind. For a movie that's supposed to be so progressive, did you not hear yourself? With so many things, I'm looking at this. I'm like, wow, I'm really shocked that more people aren't speaking up about this.
I don't know. Oh, I'm sorry. Looking at this, Mark Ronson sends up Bill Maher's post calling Barbie preachy and man-hating. He doesn't agree. Well, you know what? I'm a woman. So please tell me how I agree with him. I think he's right. Are you going to tell me as a woman I'm not right? Because, a lot of guys think they can.
So this is the guy who worked on the music.
Well, the music in the show was actually good. I'm not going to say that. The music in the movie was pretty good.
So, that's the thing. He even said the movie's enjoyable. There are lots of movies out there.
Part of it is enjoyable.
Yeah, there are movies out there that I disagree with the message, but I can admit that the movie was decent. It was a decent movie.
But it was a comedy. It wasn't. It wasn't a comedy. It started out as a comedy. As soon as they were in our world, they made every guy that Barbie ran into an asshole. Statistically speaking, it's not going to happen like that. Even the police were supposed to be making comments. Oh, she looks better with clothes on. Not going to happen.
Oh my God.
Not to the level that they're showing. And then they're like, oh, it's a comedy. What part? When the part you're crying, when you're like, when Ruth Handler comes and talks to Barbie, and then Barbie's crying about wanting to be a real person, and then she and Ken have a heart-to-heart about how she could be just Barbie, he could be just Ken, they don't have to be together, and then she ends up coming to the real world and getting a vagina. Yeah, hilarious. Fucking hilarious.
Nothing's more funny than when Barbie gets a pussy. Mm-hmm. Nothing is more funny.
That's a real, humdinger, a fucking fun fest.
Did That's it. It's fucking Fun Fest Barbie.
There you go.
And when you push her arm, her legs spread wider.
Well, wait. Maybe it's maybe when you push Ken's arm, he has to lay down and she gets to be on top. She's in charge.
Is that like the Skipper
the
doll?
matriarchy and all.
The
He has to do what she
had?
says.
Yeah, that's right.
Oh yeah, when you twist. They put her in the movie where you twist her arm and her boobs pop out.
Yeah,
they had her in the movie.
Boy Toy Ken. You could have
Boy Toy Ken. There you go.
Boy Toy Ken with his inflatable ding dong.
No, he doesn't have a ding dong. That was part of the joke.
Well, then how can she be on top? She
can't do anything. So when Barbie opening her
Barbie
legs,
can't do it. No, Barbie can do everything. We girls can do everything and everyone.
Except that.
She'll do anything.
There's no hole. It's just she can't. Now, and sometimes because they were getting in trouble for not having underwear on the dolls to save money, they mold panties right on her, so she's not even changing her underwear ever.
That's how very conservative people are born. With underwear molded right onto their bodies. Like, never nude. Right? No. We're going to wrap this up.
Please do.
Let's wrap this up. So they're coming for Bill Maher over the freaking
He's
Barbie
not really
movie.
wrong. I mean, I think the zombie comment's weird, but
I don't even know what
he wasn't wrong on a lot of things. And I'm sorry if you like the Barbie movie, that is cool. You are allowed to like it. I'm not going to poop on anyone who likes it as long as they're not being, calling everybody else who hates it men and saying that they're, some kind of insult.
That's poopin' Barbie's a poopin' time Barbie. That's a different Barbie. I think that Barbie had a gig in Team America, didn't she? She was a body double. She was a body double in Team America.
But people don't like the movie. That's a valid point too. And I'm sorry, he's not wrong in what he said.
All right. Well, that stinky old man and his stinky old opinions, guys. I never thought Bill Maher would be on the wrong side of.
That's funny to me. A bunch of men will come tell me how I'm wrong and mansplain me about feminism. They keep doing it. It's hilarious.
All right, let's wrap this up.
Yep.
Please subscribe. We'll talk to you later.
Bye.
Help support the channel. Go to thereef.support and get early access to podcasts, videos, and other content. That's thereef.support.